Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. I did a video last night on Max Scherzer's second no-hitter showing how it was rigged by the numbers. His first no-hitter was of 106 pitches. His second no-hitter came 106 days later with 109 pitches, and the gematria of no-hitter is 109. Today I did more research, and I found that the first pitcher to ever have two no-hitters in one season, Johnny Vander Meer, died on the date of October 6th, 10-6, a lot like 106. And there's more to it than that. We're going to go through the history of baseball, all the men who have thrown two no-hitters in one season, and the connections between all of them. This is extremely creepy. If you're new to my channel, I don't focus on sports. I just show how sports are intertwined with what's being reported in the mainstream media. Go check my video channel from yesterday before this no-hitter and the days before. I have been doing videos on how a lot is being foreshadowed for October 6th, a lot like 106. And even back when Scherzer had his first no-hitter, I did a video making these connections. So let's go through this. The article points out that the last no-hitter by a pitcher with two no-hitters in one season was Nolan Ryan in 1973. That is 42 years ago. And the reason that stands out is because Nationals in Pythagorean gematria sums to 33. With the S exception, Nationals equals 42. We're getting a Nationals pitcher throwing the first two no-hitters in one season 42 years later. Also, I grew up with Nolan Ryan, idolizing him and a lot of pro athletes. Nolan Ryan was known as the Ryan Express. In commercials he was in posters made of him, in baseball cards, there was a lot of train symbolism. And the reason this is creepy is because earlier this year there was a Philadelphia train wreck traveling 106 miles per hour. In the first video I did on Scherzer's no-hitter, I talked about how this train wreck began a lot of coding in the media of the number 106, and then his no-hitter came along on a day with 106 pitches. Also, his no-hitter was 3 days after the Charleston church shooting, which had 106 coded all over it. Also, true secret, at that time I pointed out how the black church bombing of 1963 came on a date with 106 numerology and had 106 coded all over it. In 1963, the year of the church bombing, there was also a Pennsylvania train wreck and a presidential assassination. There's a movie in history that came out called Unbreakable about a Pennsylvania train wreck. That movie runs 106 minutes. 106 minutes. Scherzer's first no-hitter this year was against a Pennsylvania team, the Pittsburgh Pirates, just like this train wreck was in Pennsylvania near Philadelphia. A Philadelphia pitcher also got a no-hitter this season, Cole Hamels. So, that's the first interesting connection. Go back and watch my video. I talked in detail about all the 106 coding in Scherzer's first no-hitter of 106 pitches. Notice that Nolan Ryan's second no-hitter was with 17 strikeouts, just like Scherzer. The word Mason with Pythagorean gematria equals 17. Important number in this study of numerology. 17, a prime number. There were 7 no-hitters this season. The first was against the Mets. This last one was also against the Mets. It will probably be the last of the season. Before the season began, I predicted that the Mets would win the World Series because it's the 111th World Series. New York equals 111. I don't think it'll be the Yankees because they already have 27 World Series wins. But I do think that they might be in the World Series. It might be a Subway Series. If there were a Subway Series this year, it'd be the 15th in history. It would be 15 years since the last one in 2000, and it would also come in the year 2015. Let's keep moving through this. I want to show you all the things that stand out in the reporting. Scherzer did this no-hitter in 109 pitches. Again, no-hitter equals 109. From June 20th to October 6th is 109 days. Again, his first no-hitter came on June 20th. A lot being foreshadowed for October 6th. I like this piece of reporting from CBS Sports. The people who write these articles are aware of numerology, are aware of gematria, and they taunt us. Here we go. Come the 6th or 7th inning, it certainly looked like Scherzer was going to throw a no-hitter. When he whiffed Cespedes on high 96-mile-per-hour cheese to start the 9th, there should have been no doubts at all that he was going to complete it. 96 is the number of Freemason. The word Freemason equals 96. The Nationals finished their season last year with 96 wins. So did the Orioles. No other team had that win total. The ranging degrees of Scottish Rite Freemasonry are 31, 32, 33. Scherzer wears 31. If you sum 31, 32, 33, it totals 96. Also this year, Scherzer's first no-hitter, the final pitch was a 96-mile-per-hour fastball that resulted in a flyout to left field in front of the sign 106.7 The Fan. Notice 106. This was a 106-pitch performance. Again, the next no-hitter came 106 days later. I don't think this stuff's a coincidence, Truth Seeker. 106 is the number of prophecy. Cespedes, his first name Yoenis, has 33 Gematria. Yoenis has a 33 life number. He came over from the Athletics. Athletic has 33 Gematria, just like Pirate, who Scherzer's first no-hitter was. Just like Nationals has 33 Gematria. Just like October is the only month with 33 Gematria. Just like Diamond has 33 Gematria. This important number to the Freemasons. Baseball has always been a Freemason sport. The Nationals Network, their acronym, even forms the word Mason. So check this out. In history, the pitchers to throw 2 no-hitters in one season are now Max Scherzer, Nolan Ryan, Johnny Vander Meer, who died October 6th, Ali Reynolds, Virgil Trucks. These are the only pitchers to ever throw 2 no-hitters in one season. A very special accomplishment. Let's go over how all these pitchers are connected. Some very interesting stuff here. So, of course, Johnny Vander Meer died on October 6th. He died at the age of 82. Scherzer's first no-hitter this season was 106 pitches, 82 for strikes. Vander Meer, the last name, has Gematria of 105, just like Nationals and Simple English Gematria. From June 20th to October 3rd, if you don't count the end date, is also a span of 105 days. The words Zionism and Masonry equals 105. It is the Zionists who have always controlled Major League Baseball. They control all the professional sports leagues, not just in the U.S. This is worldwide. Again, last night's no-hitter, 109 pitches. No-hitter equals 109. 109 days from June 20th to October 6th. With regards to Ali Reynolds, he died at the age of 77. The Nationals are located in D.C., which sits on the 77th meridian, the American meridian. Some interesting name gematria here. Ali Reynolds in English gematria equals 906. 0 doesn't count in numerology. Drop the 0, you're back to another 96. This number of Freemason, which seems connected to these no-hitters. Virgil Trucks, I want to point out, played for the Kansas City Athletics, which are now the Kansas City Royals. Last year's World Series was Kansas City versus San Francisco. Both Kansas City and San Francisco have gematria of 122, just like Trainwreck. The World Series was won last year by the Giants 66 days after the worst earthquake since the '89 World Series earthquake between the Athletics and Giants, the Bay Area World Series. The name Virgil Trucks in gematria is interesting. Notice the English gematria of 1014. Drop the 0, you're left with 114. Notice Nolan Ryan above had name gematria of 114. This no-hitter by Scherzer comes during the time of the 114th Congress, a very special number. Things such as World War, Holocaust, Pearl Harbor all have gematria of 114. The leader of the 114th Congress is John Boehner, who has name gematria of 114. All of this stuff is intertwined, Truth Seeker. It is a web of numbers. It is a web of history. The name Virgil has gematria of 77. That's popping up. Nationals on the 77th meridian. Get this, my fellow truth seeker, figured out this. Complete game shutout has gematria of 239. Scherzer's no-hitter is a complete game shutout. This number 239 is a lot like September 23rd. The train wreck earlier this year was at 9:23 p.m., traveling 106 miles per hour. October 6th on the current calendar is September 23rd on the old world calendar, the Julian calendar. There's a connection between the dates September 23rd and October 6th. Complete game shutout has numerology or gematria that connects to September 23rd. He points out that this gematria plus 109 for no-hitter sums to 348. The 348th day of the year is December 14th. Scherzer finished his season with 14 wins, 12 losses, kind of like this date. That's the date that leaves 17 days left in the year. He got 17 Ks. He finished the season with a 2.79 ERA and 276 strikeouts. Flip that 6 upside down. You have very similar numbers. Notice that he did this on October 3rd, which is the 276th day of the year, just like the number of Ks he finished on the regular season with. Second no-hitter has gematria of 1,014, just like Virgil Trucks in gematria, very similar to Nolan Ryan, who has 114. He said Major League Baseball equals 114. That is a typo. Major League Baseball equals 162, just like the number of games in the season. But that's okay. The rest of his research is right. He points out the contract. I often show how these players' contracts have numbers that line up with their names, their careers. Pretty interesting. 30 million has this gematria of 1104 as well. Very interesting stuff going on here, Truth Seeker. Max Scherzer is a robot, has gematria of 239. Maybe he is. Maybe he is, Truth Seeker. Something weird is going on in this world. I don't really think he's a robot, but I think they might be cloning these athletes. Again, this is the cover page of ESPN last night. They put up a video, 106 in length. What else? His first no-hitter was 106 pitches. The second one came 106 days later. Point out something else, Truth Seeker. That first no-hitter came on a date with 61 numerology. The word church has 61 gematria. Again, his first no-hitter was days after the Charleston church shooting that had 106 coded all over it. You can go back and watch that video. It's all documented. Would you believe that the fastest pitch ever thrown in MLB history is 106 miles per hour by this young man, Aroldis Chapman? What's real creepy is this guy has name gematria of 134. The Philadelphia train wreck came 134 days before September 23rd, which is October 6th on the old world calendar when you convert. And during the Philadelphia train wreck, which was going 106 miles per hour like this guy's fastball, which crashed at 9:23 p.m., there was a fire truck in the background on CNN driving back and forth with the number 134 on it. That train wreck was 134 days before September 23rd. I've been doing videos recently about how September 23rd and October 6th are connected. I mean, all this stuff even blows my mind. If right now you're listening and going, no way, this is too much, I hear you. It does seem crazy. But again, these kind of synchronicities are all over sports. It really does seem like too much, yet somehow it continues to be done over and over and over again. Very creepy stuff, Truth Seeker. But rest assured, this was a rigged spectacle by the numbers. Max Scherzer, a willing participant in another sports-related hoax. Everything's connected, Truth Seeker. Sports, popular culture. Should be easy to see for sports fans. I mean, who's fooled by Tom Brady, one of the shittiest quarterbacks I've ever seen play the game, yet somehow already the most winningest quarterback in the wake of September 11th, the era of the Patriot. It's all a joke, Truth Seeker. Tom Brady's a joke. Sports fans who can't see the games are rigged are a joke. Time to wake up. All right, until next time.